Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is going to be future desires and why it is important to focus on habits that have a huge carryover into many skills instead of focusing on the things you directly want. So let's begin this video by making a small experiment. Let's look at each year of your life and think about the thing you most urgently wanted during each year. Maybe start at your first or earliest memory, maybe at the age of 4 or 6. It might have been some specific toy or a specific journey or playing outside with other kids or whatnot. At age 8 it might have been a certain video game, for example, as that's the age when kids typically transition from playing outside to video games. At age 13, for example, it might have changed again to wanting a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something like that. And at age 17, it might be being respected by your peers or even just accepted. At age 18, it might have been finishing school with good grades. At age 20, having a wife. At age 21, having a good job or a car or whatever. Okay, now that we have some, example desires, we can proceed making some key observations about those desires. And the first and most common observation is that we can hardly remember at all what our dearest desires in the past even were. Those 7 desires I came up with are guesswork. They are imaginary. I have pretty much no idea what I wanted at age 5, 6, 7 and whatnot. I can't even tell what I really wanted a year ago. Well, I can, but only because I wrote those goals down in a big Google table. Otherwise I couldn't really tell. And if we cannot remember it, what we wanted, the chances are really high that we aren't interested in it anymore right now. And what we can read from that is that our desires constantly change over time. They constantly change all the time. The desires we had a week ago are probably not the same desires we're having now. And what that means is that the past desires are completely and utterly meaningless for us right now. And what we can deduce from that is that our current desires will most likely also be completely and utterly meaningless for our future selves. Pretty much nothing will remain of those. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to pursue very specific desires, like instant gratification. Watching this Netflix series right now won't have any future benefit, while pursuing habits that have a huge carryover into the future, into everything we do, makes sense because it prepares us for pursuing every kind of desire we will have in the future. There are hardly situations, for example, in which you cannot profit from habits like meditation or lifting or a healthy diet or even having lots of money saved up. Those are things that will profit pretty much any desire you can actually have in the future. And therefore, I'd personally really only focus on the habits and behaviors with carryover, because you really have no idea what the future will bring and what your future desires will be. Therefore, it just makes sense to focus on everything, to just prepare for as much things as possible. And in essence, everything you pursue in terms of desire is pretty impermanent, even in the short run. Therefore, focus on the things that have carryover, and that way you can make sure to actually profit to some degree from the things you do now in the future. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you have any remarks, feel free to leave me a message in the comment section and I might reply to it or even make a future video about it. And for now, goodbye.